Hello, movie lovers. Sunday afternoon. Got the door open. It's a little cool in here. It's not exactly beach weather. We're not talking beach blanket bingle here. No. But anyway, we're here to talk about your first time. The first time. You're probably wondering, what the hell is he talking about? Now, I want everybody to get involved with this. Right? There's a Mike. Mike's the same age as I am. There's Ian from Wales. There's Jay. There's Harry, right? James. All the grumpy old gentlemen. Julie, right? Yes, Julie. And anybody else. Rob, right? I mean, I can name lots of people, but everybody, you get the drift, I should say. Now, when I was younger, I lived, of course, with my mom and dad and my brothers and sisters, and they had a 26-inch TV, but it was black and white. Black and white. I never got a color TV until I got married. I got an RCA Victor TV. I bought a color TV and I took it to my mother's house because I was buying furniture. To say about buying furniture before I moved into an apartment. So I bought a color TV for myself and my wife, Darlene, at the time. Put it in my mom's house, and then we started watching the color TV, right? So anyway, color TV, 26-inch RCA Victor, state-of-the-art thing. We're talking 1972, 73-ish. Move on, people. Now we move on, we get further ahead of ours. We're getting farther up in time now. Most of you probably did that one way or another. Got your first TV. See, first time. First time. Now, we move forward. It is now 1993. I'm going to the show with Kathy. I married Kathy in the year 2000, in June, Pioneer Village. Right? That's the first time I married Kathy. I mean, I got married before, but for her it was the first time. She was married before too, but for her and I, yeah. Anyway, Bob, you're probably saying, Bob, get on with the friggin' story. Anyway, you know, later on in life, in the early 80s or 90s, they started coming up with those little theaters, 100 people sat in them, right? And you go into this, well, the Eaton Center, I went there first. And they got all these little screens. There's about 10 or 15 places where you walk in and you can watch a different movie. They were different movies everywhere, right? So you go in there and sit down and you watch the screen. We're talking not big, not gigantic, so now that was okay, but it's not great, okay? So in 1993, like I said, first time I thought about this. This is the first time it entered my mind where I thought about this. That's good for you. Anyway, so I said to Kathy, you want to go to the show on Saturday? Sure, she's going. She wants to go. Where are we going? I said, we're going to go to the Mount Pleasant, up Yonge Street. Okay, that's around, people know where that is here in Toronto. But bear with me. It's a Mount Pleasant theater. It's an old theater, right? It's like an older theater. It's got lots of seats. It's got a balcony. A balcony. So you can imagine how big this theater is. This theater was huge. This movie had an intermission too. You can get up, walk around, go outside, have time to go for a pee. You know, one of those movies. See, not telling you yet. So in 1993, I'm sitting there in the theater with Kathy, and this movie starts. Right? Movie starts on this massive screen. We're talking massive. Not a 26-inch color TV RCA Victor. Right, that you don't really notice anything on. I mean, all these movies, there's other movies that were around before this movie I saw that I personally noticed this thing. So did Kathy, for that matter. So this movie starts playing, right? The movie starts playing, and all of a sudden, it was like later, as the movie was playing, I started noticing things, started thinking about things. And I'm sitting there, wow, I'm saying to myself, wow. Yeah, then I started thinking about, you know what I started thinking about? Which some movies don't have it in it, but I started thinking about cinematography. Cinematography. We all know that word. Like the movie, Hitchcock's movie Rope. I don't think that has too much cinematography in it, if not any. Some movies don't have it. Movies like Lawrence of Arabia, cinematography, right? Right? The Bridge on the River Kwai, right? Cinematography. You get my drift? The Shining, right? Driving up his car up the mountainside and all that space and swooping in and all that stuff. That's cinematography. So here I am in 1993 in this gigantic old theater. I wonder if it's still there. I don't even know if it's still there anymore. But anyway, 1993, Kathy and I was living with Kathy, we were living together. So we went to the show. And the show, the first time I noticed, actually thought about it, the word cinematography actually entered my brain, my thoughts, my eyeballs, and I was looking at this thing, was the movie Gettysburg. Yeah, Civil War movie. You know, brother against brother, mother against son, dad against, you know, you get the drift. Most of these know Gettysburg or the Civil War. Now, that's the movie I first noticed, really thought about it, entered my being, cinematography, right? When those drones or whatever they had over top of the, up in the sky, right? Or those long shots where the soldiers are marching across the field and all the, you know, the cannons are going off and the smoke's all over here and the bombs are exploding and the men are falling down and it's just massive, massive cinematography. And that's, I noticed it. I'm thinking, wow, shit, man. But, you know, I watched movies all before that for, I don't know, years, I guess. Years. I even seen Planet of the Apes in the theater, in the show, as I call it, the show, right? I seen Planet of the Apes there, right? And, you know, all kinds of other movies. You know, a lot of the movies I saw, they had cinematography in it. And then also some of them, I guess some of them didn't. So not all movies have cinematography in it. I don't think so. But anyway, so the movie I'm talking to you is about when is the first time, for you, guys and girls, that you first noticed cinematography? When did it pop out? When was your first time? When were you sitting in a theater? Because I basically think that you would have to be inside a theater, whether it's a small, dinky little fucking one, right? You know, those dinky box shit ones, right? I don't think it's on TV. Although some TVs nowadays with these 55-inch and 75-inch TVs, I think I got a 55-inch Panasonic here. I think it's 55-inch. But even on my TV, I can notice cinematography now, right? But not as much as I experienced in that old Mount Pleasant theater on the screen, right? No, not like that. So, I mean, previously before that, I saw other movies that, you know, had cinematography, and The Searchers. I didn't see that at the show, but The Searchers has fantastic cinematography in it, right? So for you guys, grumpy old gentlemen, right? And anybody else, for that matter, you can all jump on this thing and talk to everybody and tell everybody about your first experience. We're not talking sex here, people. We're just talking movies, right? What was your first experience on cinematography? What movie stood out to you when you sat there in the theater munching on your popcorn, sucking back your Coke or your Dr. Pepper, Julie? Was there a time in the theater that stood out to you and you said, whoa, and you sat there with your mouth open going, like your eyes popping all going? What movie was it? What movie did it to you? When was your first time that you noticed cinematography, right? I mean, why do we go to the movies? Why do we go to the shows? Do we go to see cinematography? Or most of us just go to see the movie. We don't think about the lighting, the story, this and all that. We want to go to the show and see a good movie, right? So yeah, most of our minds are not set on we're going to go to the show to see the cinematography, right? I don't think our brains think that way. But in reality, when you're sitting there in this massive, flight of what is it, the camera takes in these scenes, right? And you're sitting there with your mouth open, right? Like Monument Valley, those John Wayne movies and some of that cinematography, right? Stuff like that. There's a lot of movies out there that has great cinematography in it, right? It just stands out and pops to you. But my first experience, not really paying attention, is that the correct way of saying it? Yes, is Gettysburg. So what say you guys? What's your first experience? Did you go to the show? Did you go see a show on a massive screen? What movie did you see? When was the first time you noticed? It really was noticeable that you paid attention to the cinematography. There you go. Think about it. I want to see some. What do I want to? Yeah, I want to see some videos, you guys. Let's pop up some videos on here and talk about your first time that you noticed cinematography. All right, talk to you again. Have a good week.